So yeah, like I was saying, y'all, welcome back to the second part of the foolishness that happened over the course of this last week for me, my work week. This is the Married Man Side Heffa Saga, part two. So anyway, like I was saying, this heifer threw my name out there to this heifer, telling her that I literally said my name, said the married dude name, said somebody who's supposed to be her friend's name. She literally said everybody who works up there, with the exception of the man who I told y'all about, has the widowmaker heart because he ain't been there. And let me just go ahead and tell y'all what happened with him, y'all. So he hadn't been there for like a week. This is normal to me. So when I don't see him, I'm like, oh, he took his FMLA, cool, whatever. So he came back yesterday. And so he walked up to me, and where I was working at the time, like yesterday where I was, he had to come all the way, like he had to walk a long distance to get to me, the furthest away, because I was doing something. So he walked all the way up to me. So when I saw him, I had already saw him before I started my shift, our shift, but he was in his phone. So I didn't get a chance to speak to him, and he didn't get a chance to speak to me. He's always cordial, all that. So anyway, he rolling up. So when he get close to me, I said, look what the cat drug in. How you doing? So he was like, I'm all right. How you doing? I said, I'm fine. So we posted up. Like, we literally are posted up talking my area, doing what it need to do. My area is everything. I'm not behind on nothing. I'm actually bored and hot because it's hot up there. I don't know why it felt like a furnace that day. So anyway, we talking. And he was like, I'm all right. I was like, okay then. So then we went into our usual back and forth. I was like, okay, so where have you been this time? Because every time I look up, you ain't here. Because he loved trying to try me, like playfully try me till I said, hey, ain't seen you. I'm like, don't do it. You talking about you ain't seen me. You the one who ain't been here. I be here on my days that I am assigned to work. So what is you talking about? I ain't seen you in over a week. So it got serious, and he ended up telling me that his wife, who he is reconciling with, his wife's cousin passed away. He was trying to remember what form of cancer she passed away from, but she had colon cancer. So eventually he figured out what it was, and that's what it was. They had gone for a checkup last month, and a month later, this person passed away. Literally like a couple of days shy of a month, if we're going to be honest about it. But the thing about it is that that same person's mama passed away last year, who had cancer as well. And their diagnosis, it happened really fast too. So it was like almost immediate for both of them. Well, his wife was very close to both of them. And she was pretty much like really best friends with her own cousin that passed away. So she's bipolar, and he said that, you know, since they knew each other since they were in like young, he's been with her for like 17 years. But he knew her before that. So he ultimately knew her family too. So it was just a situation of he was close to this person too. But he wasn't taking it as hard as her. And she is mentally not where she needs to be. She actually was having suicidal thoughts and all of this. So the social worker in me, you know, was asking certain questions, and I wanted to know, was she taking her medication, and, little stuff like that. And so he checked all the boxes. So I was like, okay, I'm not really worried about that part of it though. So that's good. So we talking, and we're in the middle of talking. And the side heifer's partner roll up. Now this is the woman who I've told y'all about, who has a whole man and children at the house, and she been sleeping around with all these men at work. Okay. Now I have to backtrack to tell y'all what happened at the start of the day. Tuesday, coincidentally, my last day of work. I can't even tell y'all about that yet. So let me go back. I got to go back to tell y'all why I was somewhat out of character. So this was on Sunday. So when Sunday happened and I was told about all this stuff, this was Monday. When Monday happened and I was told about all this stuff, the third person approached me literally an hour and a half before it was time to be off work. So when she was walking up to me, I'm thinking, oh, okay, she must be bored. She ain't got nothing to do because of where they had her at. They didn't even have her in her department. They had 2 other people in her department, and the dude who had the Widowmaker heart, he was there. So I was like, oh, okay, cool, do what you do. And I don't even think he wasn't there that day. That day, because they had her in that area 2 days in a row. That's why I'm getting it confused. For the first day, Sunday, they had her with Monday they had her with the married dude. Then yesterday they had her with the dude with the Widowmaker heart. So anyway, this is Monday that I'm referring to. The third person has approached me, and it's her. So I'm like, oh, she must be bored, because when she's bored, like, she likes to stay busy. So, most people might run and go hide or whatever, because you really ain't, if you ain't got nothing to do where they told you to go work, you really don't have to go and be busy unless you just want to. But she prefers to do that. So I'm thinking she coming up here to, find something to do. I was in the middle of fixing something, and she was waiting, and I was like, okay. Like, I didn't know why, so I finished doing what I was doing. So then she rolled up on me, and so she was like, well, that's messed up how, sighed Heffa, was talking about you, and talking about you, said all this stuff, said the same thing everybody else that brought to me all day. I was like, you know what? I just don't even understand this. And since I'm cool with her, I don't have no issues or filter, and I don't feel like I need to, like, dance around certain issues and things that I'm saying or say it in a certain way because I'm talking to her. So I was like, I'm tired of this. This don't even make no sense, because anybody who knows me up in here, at least the bare minimum about me, know good and well I don't say nothing around her, because I don't fool with her. And I didn't know if she knew the dynamic as to why she and I don't fool with each other. But I told her it's because she mad at me because a married man who ain't married to her always has the audacity to roll up on me and try to talk to me, and she heard about it or she saw it with her own 2 eyes, and she been mad at me ever since, which makes no sense because I don't want him. He ain't my type. I don't care nothing about him, and he seems off. Like, just if you were to talk to him, you would think he was off. So I'm like, girl, why is you setting it off for that? The sex must be amazing for you to act like this over him. But I digress. Anyway, as I've just said in the first half of this saga, I don't like to share. So what is all of this for? So anyway, I'm talking to her, and I told her about that just in case. And so she was like, he a dog. Like, I don't understand. And she knows she's wrong because he a married man. She said it all because she's married. She's married to a guy that's in there, but it's a completely different situation. Like, she is the complete opposite of her husband. Her husband is he don't talk to nobody unless he absolutely has to, which is almost never. He don't get into no type of drama. Ain't finna be no shouting match, because he don't say hey about nothing to nobody. And it's not that he's being mean. It's just not him. He's very quiet and don't deal with nobody. And she's the complete opposite. She's that one day, if they're at the restaurant and his food wrong, she gonna set it off. That's how she is. So they work well together. Anyway, so she done brought this information to me, and I'm just like, my issue is this. Don't sit up here and lie on me. First of all, I have not said anything around this heifer at all outside of I am going to break. Those are the only words that you ever hear out of my lips, heifer. So the lies that you tell, you ain't never seen me in no group with people talking about nobody. So I don't understand what you lying for. So for me, I mean, I really was like, the way that I just said that, that's the way I was talking to her, right? Now, where I work, it is loud. So you already kind of got to speak up anyway. So y'all, as I'm talking to her and she keeps telling me stuff, I'm getting louder and louder. And then I get to a point where I really was screaming. I didn't even realize I was screaming. But then something on the inside asked my own self, are you screaming? I really did ask myself, am I screaming on the inside while I was screaming? Because I confused myself and I baffled my own self, because that's how upset I got. Y'all, I can't stand for somebody to lie on me. I cannot stand for somebody to lie. If you're going to lie, you better lie on somebody else. Don't lie on me. I don't know what it is. I get so triggered by that. And especially somebody like you, girl, bye. What is wrong with you? Why are you so miserable in your life? I don't understand. But this heifer done conjured up a whole lie, making it seem like everybody but her is talking about her. How? How am I? I'm trying to understand why you throw me in the mix. I don't understand what is going on here. This heifer threw my name in the hat, and she don't even talk to me. And I don't discuss nothing around her or anybody that I know that she associates with. So why would I talk about you or anybody that I know you deal with to anybody that you deal with? That makes no sense. But anyway, y'all, I'm over here. I'm livid at this point. And I was setting it off. I was screaming to the top of my lungs. And I was like, this heifer don't even know what I'm going through. She don't even understand what I'm going through in my personal life. She don't understand what I got going on. Why would she even think I would come up here and care about what she got? Like, I really was screaming, y'all. I really did think to I had a moment, I don't even know how, where on the inside, I asked my own self, are you screaming? Child, the married dude who came up there, because like I said, this was the first time that she was in that area, and then the next day she was in that area, but with the dude who had the Widowmaker heart. He ain't had nothing to do. Whatever project they were working on, they were done. So it came up there and they were looking for stuff to do. I'm screaming at this time. Like, I'm just like, you just don't understand what I'm going through in my personal life. She don't understand. Like, y'all just don't even understand how many times I have sat up there and contemplated not even coming in. And I'm not even that type of person, y'all. I do not call out. Like 99% of the time, I don't even call out a word. It's got to be a situation where ice on the road and everybody is wrecking out or something like that for me not to call in. I even go in when it's snowing 99% of the time. I don't care. If I can maneuver through it, and I'm from Alabama and I ain't never drove in snow, real snow before, and I can get through that. But y'all in the ditch wrecking, something wrong with y'all and not me. But anyway, I'm just saying, I go to work. Long as the car get me there, I'm going to go to work. So, like they don't know what all I've really been struggling with. I have been so depressed. Like, I have been so depressed lately. I have been going through, ever since my mama told me all this stuff that's going on with her, y'all, I've been so tired in my entire spirit. So it's like, for you to then come to work and be like, woo, ain't no drama going on. Let me create some drama. Ain't been no drama up here in a while. To me, that's what it come off as you doing. Like, girl, if you don't go somewhere and sit down, and then come to find out, that heifer was over there that day when all this happened. When I saw her talking to other people, she was making her rounds and talking to people for real. And I didn't know what that was about the day prior, before, her actual last day of work. And so she was like, she approached me. And she was like, well, I was told that you was telling all these people that you don't deal with me and that you can't stand working with me and that I don't do this and I don't do that. And then what put the icing on the cake for her was the fact that this heifer told her that she went and told a whole brand new person this information to add insult to injury. Now, if you knew this woman, the woman who has been talking to me and brought this information to me, the last person, the third person, let me put it in perspective for y'all. She don't really fool with nobody like that, but she does. She can talk a lot, but basically one day I was asked by the person who trained me, what do I think about the people who work up there with me? And I, went down the line one by one. I ain't had nothing to say about nothing bad about nobody except the side heifer. And I told him when I got to her specifically, I was like, well, when we work together, everything is fine. Everything is great. We work well together and we actually have full-on conversations. But when I first got here, I would say good morning to her and I would speak to her throughout the day. And she would basically like just look right at me. And I know she heard me because I do speak loud from the country. So I'm like, I know she heard me, but I had gotten to a point where I was like, well, maybe she's just the type of person that, you got to get to know her, or she ain't a morning person or whatever it is. And I just chalked it up as that. But I never had an issue. But yeah, I never had an issue with her. I just didn't know what it was that was making her like look directly in my face when she knew I was speaking to her, but she wouldn't speak back. But I just chalked it up as, oh, well, maybe she just don't fool with people like that unless she really get to know them for a long time. Some people are like that. It is what it is. So I figured that's what it was. So I pretty much told him that that's what I felt about her. And he was like, a lot of people think she's mean, but she's really not. She's been through a lot. And, I'm not going to go into what it is, but she's really been through a lot. So I don't know what it is that she's been through, but she reveals more of herself every time we talk. And like, she a whole vibe. And like, in my honest opinion, I feel like she is the hardest working person in our, that does what we do. Like, she really be setting it off. And I just be like, how you got all this energy to do all of my work, all of your work, and everybody else work? And like, she really be working, like, for real, like, very effective. It ain't no thrown together mess or whatever. So anyway, he was like, yeah, she, everything. So I made a point to tell her, like, I said, I ain't got no reason to sit up here going around talking about nobody. And even if I did tell a person and they went and told somebody, which I haven't, because the people who I talk to about anything that would probably fall along certain lines like that, like the married dude, he wouldn't go and tell nobody, be like, well, she said this. Like, why? We always keep things between one another. But he the type of person that if he said it, he don't care who find out. Like, in all honesty, which I am too. But I'm just saying, he really about that life. So, y'all, I was just like, look, I ain't got time for the foolishness. I straight up told her, and I went on ahead and told her exactly what I told old boy, as far as, I didn't know how to take her at first, but I figured, whatever. But it wasn't something that I felt the need to go and tell everybody, man, what is it about her? Why won't she talk to me? Man, something must be wrong with her. And then create a narrative to stir up drama, unlike some other people. But anyway, I digress. So yeah, y'all, I really was yelling to the top of my lungs. I didn't realize that I was that triggered until it was happening. People were up, like, there's only a select few people, y'all. And where I was standing, I was like, dang, I'm so loud. I really feel like the married dude and this other person that's way somewhere else can, like, hear me. Y'all, my partner, I really think I scared my partner, right? Because when we work together, he normally leave the last, like, 30 minutes of the day, 20 minutes, or 10, depending on how he feel. Y'all, that day, that man didn't leave it all. Like, I don't know what it is. Like, I talk with my hands and stuff anyway. But that day I was talking with my hands, my whole body and everything. Like, I was loud. And like, every now and again, I could tell he was like kind of looking like, dang, what's going on down there? But that man didn't even go to his last break. Like, even after my conversation was over, like maybe 20 minutes before he was set to go to break. Yeah. And I just kept waiting on him to tell me, all right, have a good weekend, have a good day or whatever. I see you when you come back Friday. That's what I'm thinking he gonna say to me. I see you when you get back, because his last day, his Fridays are Mondays. So I'm thinking he, about to tell me I just keep waiting. I keep waiting for him to be like, I'm leaving. He didn't leave, y'all. He didn't leave. That was the first time. He never left. I was like, oh, okay. I think I scared him. Like, I really was going off, y'all. I feel like I blacked out temporarily. So anyway, after that happened, I was so tired in my spirit. And so, like, while myself and the married dude were in the middle of talking before she came, he was like, man, I'm thinking of going to HR on her. I was like, well, let's do it then. Do it. You should do that. Because I feel like if you were to let them know that is the only reason you are going to another shift, and that's the only reason why you put in to go to another shift, once that position became open, I feel like that'll kind of open their ears up a little bit, possibly, to help them to understand, like, something ain't right with this heifer, and people keep complaining about this heifer, so somebody need to do something. Like, this is ridiculous. Well, it was almost the end of the day, and, I told him, I said, I'll go with you and tell him what just happened now with this situation. And he was like, I want to, but I don't know if I'll be able to do it today. So he ended up not being able to do it, whatever. I went. I took it upon myself, and I went, right? And I talked to the guy, and I actually didn't even think he was there at first, y'all. He came in late. So I had just clocked out, and as soon as I was about to walk out the doors, he came in. I said, I've been looking for you. Do you have a few minutes so that I can talk to you about something? He was like, sure. Went to his office. I told him everything that went down. This was actually the first time that I actually told anybody at my job one of the major things that's going on with my mama right now, y'all. When I tell y'all, he could see the emotion in my eyes because we wearing masks. He could see the emotion. He could tell. Like, I really was on the verge of crying because I don't even like talking about what my mom was going through. Like, it didn't got bad, y'all. So I only brought it up to help him to understand, like, there are important things actually going in the world that I am concerned about, and this raggedy heifer and these raggedy people that she screw and talk to are not any of those things. So, ultimately, to make a long story short, when I met with him, I talked to him like 45 minutes. And he basically said to me, like, I mean, unless she has threatened physical harm to you or someone else, or actually does put her hands on y'all, or something like terribly bad like that or whatever, that's the only way that they will be able to like terminate her or whatever. And so I was like, okay. And even in this instance, they just see that as hearsay, rumors, or whatever. So it's not like they can even write her up for this. So it just is what it is. And I mean, for me, I keep reiterating to him that I did not even want to go to anybody on this heifer, despite how she has tried me over and over again. When I was told that, like, this is too much going on, people witnessing on the outside what she was doing to me, they were like, you need to tell the supervisor. And they saw it again later on after I'd already talked to the supervisor. You need to talk to HR. Nothing has been resolved. The heifer is still running amok and doing what she do. So I'm just like, at this point, what can I actually do? It's a waste of my breath. And I mean, ain't nothing I can do. And I've been ignoring it. I have been through a lot of my life. I have been bullied for most of my life and tried most of my life. So I'm used to stuff. But with this right here, like, it's laughable. It's laughable. So it does not even hold a candle to the things that I've experienced from other people before. So I gladly ignore her. I literally ignore that this heifer even exists and do my work. And people have walked up to me and have said, I don't know how you do it. And I'm like, what are you talking about? They were like, I don't know how you work with her. I don't know how you have any interaction with her. I don't understand. Like, I got to get away from this shift. I got to get away from her. Like, they really be losing their mind. They have literally taken off to hopefully have a moment away from her. I'm just like, y'all don't see the common denominator? Oh, okay. Child. So anyway, Tuesday come. Y'all, I'm on my first break minding my business. The woman who came to me, that was the third person to come to me the day prior to bring the information to me, see me. Normally when she go to her break, normally when she's leaving to go back from her break, I'm going to my break. She saw me. I came out of the stall. I'm trying to wash my hands. She done rolled up on me, standing right in my face. And she's like, so apparently Side Heifer has approached her and was like, well, I didn't say her name and whatever. So she's trying to correct herself now somewhat and say that she didn't overhear me say anything. And I'm like, I know you didn't overhear anything, Heffa. I'm sure she didn't overhear anything because I don't talk to you or talk to you about anything or around you about anything. So I'm sure you didn't hear anything, Heffa. So anyway, she was like, but she was just like, well, trying to explain herself because they were friends. So she's trying to explain herself to the girl, right? And she's like, well, I just was giving her constructive criticism and, all the stuff that's been going on. I needed her to know that it's a reflection on me because she's the main person who's been training this heifer. Y'all, if y'all do what this heifer do on every day, she would have been fine. Look, if I was doing this, I would have been fine. If I was doing the stuff that she do, which is nothing, I would have been fine, honey. Must be nice. So anyway, she talking about it reflects poorly on her and all of this. And she just wanted to give constructive criticism. So the girl that went off, she was like, since when does she give people constructive criticism? All she does is go around talking about people. Like she this woman literally started setting it off. She was basically having a mad day or whatever y'all want to call it. She basically was doing exactly what I did the day prior. She got so loud. So I'm walking because I done washed my hands, got my paper towel. I'm slowly walking with her, listening to her. I'm on my break, y'all. She literally talked to me for half of my break about this situation. She just set it all the way off. And like I told y'all before, she is one of the best. She definitely, to me, I know for our shift, she is the best one up there. Like, she is the best one, hands down. Ain't nobody even holding a candle to her. Ain't nobody nowhere near her. Ain't no close second, none of that. I'm just saying, it just is what it is. She talked to me this whole time. And where I take my break, unless you're talking at a really low volume, almost at a whisper, people are going to be able to hear you. Keep in mind, the side Heffa goes back from her break when I'm going on my break. And I don't even know if she had passed by, but this girl was so loud, and I'm pretty sure she didn't care and wished that she would have jumped bad. But anyway, she was going off so loud that anybody passing by heard everything that was being said. There was another person in there with me. She was just sitting there like, cause yeah, it was that bad, y'all. I was just like, oh my gosh. Like, she was going all the way off. She was like, this don't make no sense. I come in here to work. And that's what I said. I told her, I don't do none of this. I'm not a drama-filled person. I come in here to work and that's it. I ain't got to make no friends. I've just been lucky enough to make some along the way, but she definitely ain't one of them, and I ain't mad about that. I don't care. So she was just like, I just don't understand why she does this. Why are you coming here and create drama like this? I told her, I said, I'm telling you, she's miserable. I don't know what it is. She need to heal from whatever it is. She's miserable. I don't know why, but that ain't got nothing to do with us. She need to leave that at the door. I don't understand why she conjures up this stuff. This is what she does. I told her straight up that she needs to focus on her son. She's focused on the wrong things. You have a child to worry about. In all honesty, that is the only reason why I didn't take it upon myself to initiate going to people who are in higher management than I. That is literally the only thing that was saving you. And even in that moment when I was talking to HR the second time, I told him again, I said, every single time she has tried me, I would stop myself from telling anybody about what she did because I said, what about the children? I literally was like, what about the children? Her child. What about her child? Her son does not deserve this. Hopefully, in my mind, I always try to think the best of people and that hopefully they'll change for the better. I have seen a few situations where that has happened. So I really be thinking that maybe this will happen for this Heffa. But possibly no, because she's so miserable on the inside. She done turned 41. So maybe it's a little bit too late for her. She's stuck in her ways. I don't know. But it is what it is. But in my mind, I really just be like, girl, why are you like this? You have a son. Then you have gotten written up recently. I don't know what she did because I wasn't there when it happened. But last week she got wrote up. I don't know what. She was so mad that she left halfway through the shift. Then she ain't come back no more. Like, she was gone for like 4 days. She was gone for half of Thursday, all of Friday, all of Saturday, all of Sunday, all of Monday. She was gone for 5 days. And it was amazing. Hallelujah in the name. So yeah, but yeah, every single time I've always been like, she got a son, don't do it. She got a son, don't do it. I always analyze the situation and I'm like, okay, who's going to be affected in this situation? And I hate that I think like that, but that's the social worker in me always. And I hate that. Even right now, after this Heffa has tried me yet again, if I saw her stranded on the side of the road, I would stop to ask her raggedy behind if she needed help. If she needed a ride to go get gas or whatever, if the car broke down, do you need me to try to take you halfway, have somebody meet you halfway? Because I know she don't live in the city that I live in. Most of the people that work there don't live in this city. Even now, I would still do that because that's the type of person that I am. That is the way that I was raised, to treat people the way that I want to be treated. So, y'all, listen, I was just tired of my spirit. I was just like, child, I ain't got time for it. I'm going to continue to ignore her as I always do. I'm not sure if the HR person caught the married dude because he told me in the meeting, he asked me in the meeting, was there anybody else who could kind of vouch for all the stuff that's been going on lately? And I brought his name up and he told me that he wanted to talk to him anyway. So he was like, if I can catch him, I'll catch him. He ain't saying nothing about it, so I don't think he did, but it is what it is. But yeah, y'all, The OG married dude, he stay looking. He stay looking. He'll still speak, but he don't act as crazy as he did before. But yeah, he still be looking and he still speaks. So that's all it is as far as that is concerned. Anyway, thank y'all for tuning in to this foolishness. I'll be back next week, I'm sure, with some more.